Hi, I've been thinking about doing this review for about 4 or 5 weeks now. I finally got my pop-on veneers back. They said it takes about 2 weeks. They had a really good advertisement of the nicest looking middle-aged lady, sweet, well-spoken, and she gave a pretty good explanation. And you've seen all the other ones where they tell you, it takes a couple of weeks. And you get it back so quick. It's amazing. Why was it even 2 weeks? They say it took 7 for mine altogether. Part of that was shipping mess up, but they started that mess up, so it's on them. Took them about 4.5 or 5 weeks just to get them made and ship them out, and then it took a couple of weeks to get to me because they shipped them to the wrong place. I had told them 3 times where to ship them to, the correct address, and they still messed it up. So anyway, I was really excited about it. And I thought it's going to work out. It'll be fine. I used to do some dental work. I used to make bridges when I was about 30. Very briefly, I trained for it. I worked about a month, and then being the desperado that I was at the time, I had to leave town in a hurry and didn't get to stay with that job. It was my one and only desk job where I could sit in between two pretty girls and make do bridge work, duets work for bridges all day. But anyway, I learned a lot, and I saw how they did the impressions, and I thought, well, that'll probably work out pretty good. And it could have, but they didn't do a good job. They took over twice as long as they said they would to get it out. And then when they shipped it out, they sent it to the wrong place after being told 3 times the address to send it to. It got misshipped all over the country, finally got to me, and guess what? Didn't fit. Now, I don't like doing this, but I'm going to show you my teeth. I'm missing my 2 upper teeth. I got a broken bottom tooth. I'm missing some teeth. I'm 64. They're in pretty rough shape. And so, anyway, let me go ahead and put these in, and I'll explain how bad they are. First of all, they look good. You put them in, they do look good. There's no denying it. Now, I'm going to give you a killer smile. That's it. I paid them $600. See, I can't talk with them. There's another thing. They said you can talk with them. You can't feel that they're in there. These things are really thick, and they don't stay. Mine don't. Maybe everybody else's does. I don't think so. I saw some bad reviews. But the bottom ones are warped. They're uneven. And they didn't finish them. They left one tooth completely uncovered. And if they would have tied that in, they might have worked good. It worked better anyway. It was sitting better. But I could be talking and the bottom ones will just fly out. I'm not going to try to make it happen, and it's not happening right now. But a lot of times, many times it's happened. And so you can see I can't look natural with them in there. And the top ones work their way loose. They don't fit right. They snap in on one side. On the other side, there's a huge empty area. And if I bite down or bump that side, they come loose. So, no, I can't talk normal. They say you can eat with them, and you cannot. Try it. Go ahead and spend $679. Get them. Go through the nightmare. You will get them. No, they'll get them to you. And then they're not going to fit right. And you can't eat with them. They're warped. They're missing places. They didn't do a good job. After all that, there the bottoms just came loose. After all that, almost did it again. After all that, they got to me, and they didn't fit. I can't wear them anywhere. I mean, I wanted to be able to go to church and smile. I can smile. I just can't talk. If I'm going to have them in, can't say anything. I actually did that. I wore them. I tried to do it. And I'll be talking to somebody and they'll start coming loose and I'll just take them out. And I'll apologize. I'm like, they don't fit right. What I'm going to do, they offered to, actually, I had to write them or text them to get in touch with me. They got in touch with me. And they said, well, you've got 2 tries. You can ship them to us and, explain to us, take some pictures, explain to us what's wrong with them, and we'll try to fix it. We'll try to fix it. They get it messed up in the first place. And there's so many things that don't work right with them. And so I have to explain to them. And, well, I guess it's the only way to do it, but it's just not going to work. There's too many problems with it. And so then they're going to ship them back to me. Okay, well, this, and this needs to be fixed. Ship them back again. And if that doesn't do the trick, they're through with you. No matter that it's their fault. They screwed up so many times. Oh, and they lied to me. On the phone, the lady told me, she sounded like a nice lady, but I think the people that she worked for made her stop with that. But she was going to just go ahead and have them make me another set because they were taking so long and they lost them. And when they shipped them out, they didn't know where they were for a while. We're just going to go ahead and make you another pair. And so if those show up, fine, you've got 2 pair. Well, days later, they figured out where they were. They didn't bother telling me. I waited for 2 more weeks, and they finally showed up. 2 more weeks after 5 weeks already. So I asked them what about the other teeth? Well, they changed their minds and just didn't bother telling me. Now, how honest is that? I don't find them to be an honest group. They kind of try in some ways because it's business and you do have to try. But you don't get to change your mind once you've told the customer, we're going to do this to make you happy. If they'd have got the other pair to me and they worked, I'd have been happy. I would never say a word. And, I don't know, maybe they can sue me for putting this review out. Let me tell you something. I don't have anything. And that's my point. I don't have a lot. I'm not worth a lot of money. And that $679 was very hard to come by. I was on a little streak there where I made some money. And I sent it to them. Big mistake. Wound up being a waste. If I had it to do all over again, I'm sure I'm forgetting to tell you stuff, but there were so many things, So anyway, if I had it to do again, I would not pay $20 for these. I actually have a YouTube channel, and if I do voiceovers and still shots and just give them I can pull that off maybe. That's all they're good for. I could have bought a pair that you heat in water. They look exactly the same as those. You heat them in water and you bite down on them and they fit perfect. And they'll stay. You could probably put some stuff on them and make them stick even better. They'll fit better than these do, I'll tell you. They'd have to. They fit exactly because they're soft, and then you hold them until they cool down and they're going to fit exact. These do not. They're warped. The bottom ones are warped in 3 different directions. They build them up where you're missing a tooth. They didn't build them up enough. And so when you touch that spot, if you bite down on that spot or just bump it talking, move your tongue up against it or something, the other end pops up because that goes down further than it's supposed to. Kind of leverages it out of place. So as you can see, they look good, don't they? You know what Lorenzo Lamas said? He said it's better to look good than to feel good. I don't know. $679. So that's my review. I got messed around, messed up, mistreated. I was being they treated rudely one time. No, actually a couple of times. And I wasn't in the mood, so I told her off. She was probably the owner's wife. I'm just guessing. But she sounded like a privileged somebody. And the rest of the people that work there don't sound that way. They kind of want to keep their jobs. I don't think hers was in danger. Very rude, ignorant woman. But yeah, most of the experience was bad. One of the managers that I spoke to, she was really good and tried her best to be honest. And I think, she probably didn't want to change her mind. I don't think it was her, but she had to do what she was told. So I'm guessing that the owners told her, no, you can't. We're not going to send them the other pair. We found those will get to them eventually. Let them live with it. So they're greedy, in my book, in my opinion. And so go ahead and sue me. I'm telling the truth. There's not one thing that I've said that isn't true, and I could probably prove all of it. Pretty sure I could. So $679. Oh, one last thing I just remembered. Thank you. If you ask for your money back, there's a site that you go to, and you scroll to it or whatever, and then you hit a spot, and it takes you somewhere else, and it tells you, well, if you've got a complaint and you want your money back, you can't get all your money back. You get some of it back, and they don't tell you how much it is. So when I heard that you can get a partial refund, you can get some of your money back, and there's nobody to talk to then. You just tell them, I'm not satisfied. You're going to ship these back, so you got more money out. So by now you've shipped, add $20 to that. Might as well go ahead and call it almost $700 that you spent, and you ship them, and they're going to give you something, and that's it, because that's what they said they'd do. What are you going to do? Take them to small claims court? They're in New York. You're way down in Texas. What are you going to do? They know that. Small claims court doesn't enforce anything. They wouldn't pay it. Probably not. If they were ordered to pay it, and it'd be too much trouble. But if it's all left alone, they get to keep that $679. All of it, for bad work and for ignorance, arrogance, and rudeness. So I'm going to show you the box they came in. And they're called, if I can get that lined up, Pop-On Veneers. I'll never do business with them again. I wouldn't risk a $20 bill with them. If it were local and somebody had some, like I said, that you could heat up and put in and make the impression, I might spend $19.95 on them, maybe. But I wouldn't send for them. It was a long way. I wouldn't spend $20 on these that I spent $679 on. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I will never do business with those people again, and I do not recommend that you do either. That's my review. I think I'll start doing reviews. I'm a painfully honest person. They look good, don't they?